Hey guys, welcome back to Jack on Tracks and another episode of the Back Shop. In this episode, we're gonna start working on the Santa Fe build. It's kind of similar to the Oberlin build. I have interiors for 4 of the cars. I think I'm up to 8 cars. I'm gonna have to order more interiors as we go and as they become available because right now they're out of stock. So what we got here is the power. This is the A unit, Athearn Blue Box. It's I know I've been calling this the Super Cheif, but I'm just gonna call it what it is. The Cheif. It's not super. It's not really not a whole Pullman standard. All right, we got everything in the box. I mean, when you look at this unit has never seen the track. Someone might have taken it home and put it on his layout and went for a lap, but that was about it. I have the glass work and grab irons. We're going to do that. And then all the goodies that come with the kit. I've had this for a while. I've been tinkering with stuff back and forth. I picked up a set of interiors online just to see if I could put an interior in it. And it does not fit well. So let's take it apart and take a look at it and see what we can do. As you guys know, some of these F units, either these openings are too tight or these points are too big. This one, the points, I believe, were too big, so I filed it down a little bit to make it look clear. Okay, so like I said, I've been working on this for a while, just trying to see what I could get done. So these are superpowers, and if you know, superpowers are just basically regular F7 gold motor with this ridiculously heavy weight in it, which makes it pull like a summer. But I took one of the weight from the other unit and I started trimming it down. I took a good amount off of this thing, and I still don't have enough room. So I would have to cut down all the way to the bottom. I have to cut all the way down to the bottom of this plateau to get enough room, and I just don't have the time to do that. So we're just going to move along with it. We're going to take it out. I really don't need it because these cars aren't that heavy. Even with the interiors in them, they're not super heavy, so this should be able to pull it. If later on I gotta come back and do it, I gotta find a guy with an end mill. I can just come in here and cut this up with an end mill. That's what I was hoping to find, but I couldn't. So this is the interior. Like I said, it doesn't fit. All right, if you line it up with the doors. You line up with the door, it just about fits. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to hold off on the interior, and when we get the glass in, if it fits with the glass in and it doesn't hit this top of this truck, then we'll go with it. If not, we'll just leave it out. So put that in the box over there for now. Put the body in the box for now. Oh, what else we're going to do with this build? We're going to drill out these exhaust stacks, and we're going to put the exhaust flicker in. Why? Because I'm a glutton. I'm trying to get the proper lights for these because it's supposed to be like 4 lights, two going across and 2 going up and down. And in some of them, it's 2 going up and down, 2 going across. It makes no sense, but it was 4 lights. So I'm hoping to see if I can get hold of those. Yep. So let's get to this. Let's get to the chassis. So since we don't have the weight in there anymore, I kind of need to build a platform for it. And I might not have enough. Oh wait, I got it here. All right, so I got an extra piece of styrene floating around. So I just basically what I got to do is I got to notch this down so it's sitting in this notch in here, so it doesn't keep flopping around. All right. The best part about having a brand new number 11 on there, it cuts so nice. All right, so we got it locked in. It moves a little bit, but that's fine. Now I want to get the proper height. Where did I put that? So we're going to use an Economy decoder. This ain't a Genesis. I'm not spending the extra money, $100 and some. It's 2 units. This is really just a project. I mean, I do want it, and I'm going to do my best to make it really nice, but I really don't need to spend $200 on decoders for this unit. I could easily just get another. All right, so there's 2 flat spots on here. Push down on that. Card in place. All right.
Right.
Alright, so the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of this tubing. It can be a tubing or a rod. This is actually, it's good to keep this stuff around, all right? And not just for this reason, not just for this reason, but you can do a lot with this. We're gonna cut this short. That's all I got of that. Drop that back in there. This was the assorted tube and rod set. Pretty decent. All right, so now I marked the outside. These should be identical to each other. All right, well. Let's get it going. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this quick set. That's put together with the quick set. I know it's not what you would think would be the strongest, and it might not be, but what we're gonna do afterwards, huh? So that's a nice little dab of quick set in there. So we'll let this set up. All right. So now what we're gonna do to really set this up, I mean, the Tamiya stuff is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it. Works great. It's actually still my favorite stuff to use. This plastic struck stuff though, I've been using lately is it's let me just touch this in. The plastic struck stuff really melts this stuff together hard. I mean, really solid. If you watch the Berkshire build, that stuff is that stuff is so solid on there. It's not even. It's. I don't think it's gonna take a lot to break it. All right. I really got to get one of those holders for this, because if you saw this mat, the way this looks, yeah, I spilt it. About a quarter of it. I'm hoping I didn't make that too high, but if I did, it's not a problem, because I can drop these notches a little. I'll let this set up more. But, you know, the round tubing in the corner, it's a little bit easier than putting a square tubing in there, or a square bar in there. The round it's a little bit easier to do it. If you're going to reinforce a plastic structure, the round tubing actually works really well. And if you drill a hole in the bottom, you got to chase for wires. Okay. So that's basically that. So we're gonna do this video just a little bit different, and I'm not gonna record everything because it just takes too long to do all that stuff. And I want to be short. This was already took long enough. All right, so this is dried up, and that goes there. So now what we have to do is we gotta disassemble this unit. All right. I solder my leads directly to the trucks, so we're not using a frame at all to conduct any electricity for the decoder. All right, so let's get this apart. And when I have the trucks off and the motor out, I'm gonna push the motor out from the bottom to try to save these mounts. If I got to get new mounts later on, I'll order them and get them delivered because I don't have any right now. All right, guys. So we'll be right back. All right, guys. So we got this all apart. These mounts are solid. They're pretty hard, but they'll actually work to hold this in. I'm going to order a set, and because I have a B unit for this, so I'm going to order a set for the A and the B unit, and we'll do that. We'll replace it on both of them because if it's bad on this one, it's going to be bad on that one. So I take this off because this is in the way. I don't know why people would solder to it when you can just do what we're going to do. All right, so one problem we have is some of you guys know the Athearn, sometimes these side frames fall off easy. These are really easy to come off. The next issue is that this, even though this is a brand new unit, there is no sign of wear on this thing. Like this thing may never have seen the track. This thing has split gears. So I have a set of gears. I have gears that we in stock, so we're gonna replace it. Also, one of the first things that I do is this tower is useless. It's in the way. We're not soldering to it. I'd love to be able to get a set of these rivets so I can re-rivet some of these because some of them, they're just too loose, but that's basically it. So also, this side is attached to here. The same on that, so you have to remember it. It doesn't really matter as long as you're doing the same unit, whichever way you flip it around. You can't put these in where they would cross and short each other out. So we're gonna move forward with that. Real quick, I'm just gonna show you how to take these trucks apart. Some of you may have never done it before. This is a cover on the bottom. There's 2 tabs, or 4, but you come in over here next to the wheel, and you just pop it off. And you do the same for the other side. Popped off. Usually once you get 3 of them, they come off. All right, there's that. Here's that. Now, you don't have to do this, but I'm doing this on this one only because it looks like it's way too oiled. So I'm going to just come in here and make sure I got oil in the right spots. I've taken these apart where they've looked like this, and there's no oil on the actual shaft that these gears ride on. So, well, look at it. Yeah, right? Those look dry. So we'll give everything a little touch in here. We'll get some of this extra. I mean, it probably worked its way into there when it got going, but it's not going. I was gonna say, let's see if we can find the crack in the gear. Yeah, it just completely fell apart. And you look in there, those bushings are bone dry. A lot of times, these gears, you can actually flex them a little bit, and you can actually see the split right there. So, one of the tools you're going to need for this job, the NMRA gauge to reset the wheels. But if you don't have that gauge, okay, you can use a piece of track to do it. That's not oil. All right, so we have oil and gear oil. The gear oil is pretty thick, and I like to just give it a couple of little touches here and there. I mean, like literally, like I might fill in two teeth worth of lube on the gear face on each gear. Now work its way around, and that's it. Those are lube. Come in here. Those are lubed up crazy good, so not worried about that. The motor. All right, lube. Okay, so this is where the fun part comes. These are super tight. All right, once you get started, take the other one. Now you're like, oh yeah, that's not that bad, right? All right, so what you don't want to do is you don't want to push these things together so tight that there's a binding on them, but there's like no gap in there anymore. And we are just a little bit out of range, out of spec. That's perfect. I'll put that right there for now. All right, so like you saw, we put a little bit of grease. We put the gear oil on, and we put a little bit of the lubricant oil on. All right, so that's pretty much held back together again. And I'm not greasing that gear because the grease that I put on everything else, the gear oil I put on everything else, a couple of spins, and it's right there. A lot of guys lube the bejesus out of these things. It's like you don't have to lube it that much. That's that. There's that. And that truck is back together again. This side is the same exact way. So I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm going to prep this one so they'll both be done. All right, guys, we'll be right back. All right, guys, so we're back. Both trucks are put back together again. The wheels are set the correct spacing. All right, so this is the front set. This is the rear set. Okay, so on the front set, all right, I also cut the wire for it too. So these are cut. We don't need a lot of wire. Long length of wires for this build because the P&P board runs pretty much the length of the whole engine. So, did I mention these are going to have sound? All right, so these are getting the Econami decoders. We're going to go over those in a minute, and we're gonna use another feature on here that I've never used before, which is the exhaust flicker, and we'll get to that later on. All right, so here we go. Now, these have a lot of oil on them. I don't know why, but they just do. They have a lot of oil on them. So I'm going to take a Q-tip and my little bath isopropyl alcohol right there. I'll wipe down these outside. I mean, the oil kept it from oxidizing, which is nice. A little bit of oxidation over there, nothing to worry about. All right, so I personally like to solder to these front rivets because you'll see they'll clear. I don't want anything near move I want everything as clear of moving parts as possible. So that's what I like to do. All right, chip quick. The other thing to do sometimes is just come in here, rough it, just give it a little roughing up. You want to do it as quick as possible. You don't want to put a lot of heat on it. All right, guys, welcome back. The test was a success, and we're going to go from there. Okay, so the two things we're going to do to this thing is I thought about putting the reverse light on because the Santa Fe did have a thing about the reverse light, but this molding is so far, these two moldings are so far over that I can't actually drill them out. So if I have a gem, I may hone that down a little bit and just put a red gem in it. Well, I'm not sure. This thing actually had headlights in it, and in the bag for the B set, there's another set of lights. So what I'm going to do, for the sake of just having it ready, just so I can use it, I'm just going to throw. I have a Pennsylvania shell too, so I'm not afraid to I'm just going to throw a single LED on these while I wait for those other parts to come in. And you guys know I like to use a big LED, so I like my lights to be really bright. So these are going to get some serious LED action here. All right, so I had this one out on the table. I'm gonna have to get another one in a second, but that's one. And let me get the second one. All right, so I got the other light. Let me test it. Let me test it. So a good practice is to always test your LEDs before you put them in. I've only had maybe 2 LEDs in the whole time I've ever done this not work. But there's still 2 times I didn't have to, one time I didn't test it and I put it in and it didn't work. And then another time I had another one not work. I tested it prior to put it in. All right. That's that. Okay, so we got that in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these lights out, these bulbs out that were in the unit. I'm gonna stick them in the spark plug. There's that one. There's that one. And now, what I need to do is kind of combine them. So, that's those lights. All right, we're not going to connect those just yet. Because, if you remember what I said, we're going to do these flickering exhausts too. So, I have a drill bit. I believe it's a 7. It's the 7.3 in the drill set, I believe. But the way you size it is just take it, and whatever drill bit fits inside the opening is the one you go with. You don't want to drill the whole thing out at once because you got to get in here. You got to drill it out in multiple holes. So, hope you guys can see what we're doing here. All right, so basically I drilled a series of 4. I'm drilling the series of 4 holes in here as close together as possible. Then just come in with your knife. I'm going to shave it out a little bit. All right. So and you want to be careful because you don't want to break the exhaust. And you're going to shave. You're going to shave the stack a little bit. You want to make it look round, hollowed out completely. That's what it looks like. So we're gonna do that to the next one. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stop the tape now, and I'm just gonna blow out this next one and get this one done, and then we'll come back and we'll show you how we're gonna do these lights. All right, guys, we're back. We got both of them drilled out, as you can see. So now what I did it in the past when I've drilled these out is I take a little Tamiya flat black, a very small paintbrush. It just kind of evens out the hole so it looks done, not not like 3 holes drilled in it. Let that dry. Give it a little power dry. All right. So to get the light to travel through, so you can see it on the outside because it's going to be in the bottom, I'm going to put a little bit of this epoxy in the hole. Alright, so that's dried up. So we're going to use I have, these are 402s, these are 603s. I'm kind of wishing I had the 804s because they're a little bit bigger, but these will have to do. This is what I got. I'll take out 2 of these. These 2, neaten them up. I'm not a big fan of this wire that's on here. I like the stranded type. This is just a single wire. I find these a little like non-flexible, so I'm not a big fan of them. It's working. All right. I've had an issue with, on the occasion, with these. So I like to dip them, epoxy ends. And then go from there. I think I don't know if I had one short out or whatnot, but it definitely was not. It was definitely not what I wanted. As you see, we have everything tacked in. These are tacked in too. This keeps a little bit neater. So one of these fronts is going to be the hot headlight and the other is going to be a Mars light for now. All right, guys, so we're back. I fixed the wiring in the shell. I got the lights, I fixed the light problem in there. Now we're going to just come in here really quick and install this speaker. This is a speaker out of a Scale Trains engine. It's actually the speaker housing out of a Scale Trains engine housing. When I get the chance, I'm gonna order some Scale sound system speakers for this because that's what I prefer to use. Now, what we gotta do is we're gonna start putting in the resistors. All right, so this is what we got: headlight, Mars light, and the 2 exhaust flickers. So I'm gonna take a break because I've been working at this for a while and I'm getting a little tired, a little hungry. So we'll be back. All right, guys, so we're back. My phone went dead while recording it. We got the windows in. Didn't really matter. You couldn't see me get these windows in anyway, so it didn't really matter that it went dead. But got all the glass in. They're still drying. So Now what we're going to figure out is these wires. Alright, because they just got to get done. This flickering exhaust is not really a big deal. I mean, wiring wise, pretty simple, straightforward. Alright, red and red get put together. They go in the same spot. So that gets soldered up. We get rid of most of it. All right, we'll come over here. We got the resistors. We'll shorten them up because we don't need those to be that long. We're going to change this speaker around. That's definitely going to happen shortly. Alright, so the front one, when we put the front one on, we're going to have to clean up this opening a little bit. But we're going to, that one's not going to have the on it. So, be easy to get in and out. Alright, let me go throw this on the test track. And then when the next thing I'll do is I'll set the camera up upstairs and we'll get some audio from this. Alright guys, see you in a little bit. Alright guys, here we are back at the test track. I don't know, I got the little microphone about 6 inches away. Remember, these are just like kind of crappy little sugar cube speakers in here. They sound pretty decent, but I'm going to probably put a set of scale sound system speakers in it. The U-fits, I just got to measure out the back of this thing to see how big I can get the box in there. The bigger the box, the bigger the sound. That's what we're going to go with. So let's hear here's the startup, and we'll go through some of the sounds. Headlight. Mars light comes on when you start going, and the headlight's dim right now. So when the Mars light comes on, it's gonna brighten up. I think I'm gonna lower how dim that is, make it a little dimmer. You hear the brake squeaking there. Get the bell. I might go with the slower bell. It's better than the one that I started with. It was like ding, 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 ding. It was way too fast. The horn. Dynamic brakes. Yeah, that was RPMs all the way up. If I hit the RPMs down, it'll probably shut it off. The all aboard feature. And then when you come up top, you give a little speed, you'll see the exhaust flicker come on. So it's not really as bright as I'd like them to be, but I know they're there. It was the first train I ever put them on. So basically what I got going on with this unit right now is it's running. I took it down to the club and did some drive-bys, and it looks pretty good. It's pulling just freight service right now because I haven't done the passenger cars yet. Here's the shutdown. Yeah. So I think the next video is me as I show you how I weathered these trucks, and I'm probably going to come in here and weather the frame and the lower tank. Another video is we're going to change out these couplers. They make a set of I think closer couplers for these. So we're going to change out to those. Those are the number 37s. So we'll see about that. I believe I have in my bag of tricks from years ago, I have the diaphragms. So if I have the diaphragms, we're going to put them on. And that'll look pretty decent on these. And then the B unit, I'm just doing the B unit off. It's the same exact thing as this one. I know this video is freaking long as hell. I tried to make it shorter and it turned into a nightmare. So we'll finish probably in the videos to follow. We're going to do all the handrails on it, get the handrails put in so it looks nice and nice. And then that's probably going to be it for the engines. And then after the engines, we'll start working on the cars. All right, guys. Thanks for watching Jack on Tracks. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification button. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.